some people don't just survive life. They literally escape that life. Tonight, guest didn't rebuild from failure. She rebuilt from the edge of death. This is a story about fear, silence. At the moment, human being decides, I will not disappear. Angelina Masal Nur AyO is a woman who escaped what should have ended her life. And she turned that escape into strength, purpose, and empowerment. This is not a fairy tale. This is resilience. Welcome to Life the Battlefield, where real stories don't entertain, they change people. Angelina, welcome to Life the Battlefield. Angelina, welcome to the podcast Life the Battlefield, and thank you for finding time just prior festive season to be with me in studio today.
Thank you very much, Mario. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Look, you're the one of the very intriguing guests I ever had. You know, I never had a guest, and I said this from the onset of this podcast, somebody whose family tried to assassinate. But before we start digging deep into this, who was Angelina and what kind of danger you were living before?
Angelina Masal Nur AyO, it is hidden in my name. So once it was Masal Nur AyO, become Angelina. So I created myself, reborn from my ashes again and again.
Again. So originally you're from Turkey.
Northeast part of Turkey, right below the Russia. And that's why I've got a bit of Russian, Greek ancestry in my blood, but predominantly Turkish, and grow up in Istanbul.
In Istanbul. Istanbul is a beautiful city.
It is beautiful. It is most cosmopolitan city. It is most modern city. But unfortunately, I grew up in a very conservative and restricted family.
Can you explain our audience what your family look like, conservative?
For example, if my sister wants to go A to B within 15-minute distance from our home to my auntie's home, she had to have 1 mile on the right, 1 mile on the left, like you are going to in jail to talk to someone, the guardian's there. So regardless, this male could be younger than her, older than her, doesn't matter, as long as they have to be a male. And I'm coming from that kind of family. So she couldn't go A to B alone, and I, by myself, traveled 5 continents, 50-plus country, 70-plus city. Coming from the same condition.
Is your sister still there?
Yeah, she's still there. Okay. She's happy, you know. She just accepted.
Yeah.
Getting, arranged marriage, having a boy and a girl. She is different. She's more passive-aggressive, like she's kind of... That's her survival. My survival is different.
For those who don't know, my guest Angelina, she escaped assassination organized by her family. So what was it look like growing up in Turkey for you? For our audience to understand. So you come from very conservative family, very, obviously patriarchal family. I mean, don't take it wrong. I was born in Croatia and then ex-Yugoslavia. But my father was a patriarch. He was sitting in a chair and he will comment, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. Ask me for approval for this, for that. And I was like, man, this is like a Ottoman Empire in the 14th century, seriously. But that was a days, you know what I mean?
Ah, you're sweet.
Yeah. Now when my son, I have a conversation with him and I try to understand, we live in different times, so I need to understand what he wants. But for our audience, let them understand what environment you will grow up.
Actually, I must say I was privileged. I born well-off family. So financially, we were comfortable. So
Okay.
my father was doing well. I grew up in a little 2-story villa. There was every kind of fruits you can imagine, the flowers you can imagine. And actually, my father himself was quite open for many culture. Like we had a Kurdish, his friends, or Albanian, or Serbian, or lots of. He would invite them in our home, and we would have somebody in the dinner every single night almost. So that's why mom had to cook extra every time because we might have a guest anytime. And then entertainment, like he likes drinking, rakı,
Yeah.
the white one.
Yeah.
He is addicted to that. He was drinking that
course he
every
is.
night. One brother was playing an instrument. The other one was singing. I was the one dancing. So this is the good side of the story. But unfortunately, at the end of the night, most of the time, because alcohol doesn't stay in the body from the first early time,
Yeah.
towards the end, there was always some kind of fight. There was some kind of abuse or chase in front of the guests, after the guests left. That part was challenging. And I felt like it is like making love. When after you come, you feel relaxed and, you don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
After my parents' fights, I felt relaxed. I said, oh, thank God. Now they won't talk to each other for a few days, so they won't fight a few days. Like, that was a comforting after the fight. So, but when the day passed, 1 week later, when they start talking and the tension getting higher, and I'm like, okay, what would be the reason they could fight now? So there was an expectation of the fight.
Interesting. And I didn't grow up in that wild environment, but it sounds familiar for me as well. Because my father will drink with his buddies, and then he will, do the things, slap me, my brother, whatever, because just he can. He was a coward at the end of the day. So when I'm listening, your life looks like you have a good life. So where was the problem then?
Well, we were just talking the other day when I was going to a Christmas party. Freedom doesn't mean money. Yes, money buys you a bit of freedom. However, I born into money, but I didn't feel free. Because I couldn't dress the way I like to dress. I couldn't do what I want to do. I couldn't study just because I was a girl. After the compulsory, like after the primary school,
Yeah.
my dad didn't send my sister to
High school.
mid and high school.
Yeah.
But I was lucky, again, privileged, thank God. Even though my mother was illiterate, like she could not read or write, she went to my dad's partner and said to him, because she knows if it comes from her, she will get in trouble. So my dad respected his business partner a lot because he was an engineer, yeah? So he was signing the document. My dad was doing the physical work. When my dad wasn't around, when she bring him a bit of coffee, Turkish coffee, she said, can you talk to Servet and tell him, I hope he wouldn't do the same thing he did to older girl. Angelina's doing really well at school. Can you talk to him to send him, higher school? And then she just escaped.
So your sister, she's older than you.
My sister older than me. So because my father's business partner talked to my father and said, hey, Servet, I hope you are not going to do the same thing you have done to the other girl. Look, I heard she's doing really well at school. I trust you will send her to, middle school and high school. So my dad, I think, felt a bit shame or embarrassed. Yeah. He couldn't say no to him. That's how I managed to have a bit more education than my sister. But again, when it comes to university, okay, in Turkey, you must go through the exam. It's not just you can go wherever you want.
Same as in Croatia. That's the difference with the people here. When I talk to my son, I said to him, "This is how we're going to school. This is." He was like, "What do you mean exam?" I was like, "You don't just rock up, just want to."
2-step, not even one.
And he says to me, "How did you go?" I said, "Like, well, I was lucky. I was going to military school, but that I was going in primary school through the testings before you go into high school. But normally, after you say like primary school, it's come the couple days after you finish primary school, you're going for exam for the high school. And if you don't pass the limit threshold, you're not accepted.
That's it.
And then you need to accept any school, with a quota, it's not important. In contrast, how the man was being treated if you have a brother. So the audience understand, let's just say, the two sisters, but if you have a brother, how would your brother be treated?
They were encouraged to go to uni, obviously, because they are the breadwinner. But, okay, in my dad's head, because he thinks my daughter doesn't need to study or doesn't need to work because my wealth will look after her. I can give her one property to live, one property to rent. Why would she work? In his head, he was trying to protect me. I can see and understand his point of view. So he didn't have a bad intention. He was not a bad person. I love my dad. I do. Yeah.
Okay, we come to this later, okay.
Okay.
So, what happened to you then? Because I say, like, if we're looking now from this point of view as you're talking to me, you have a very good life. You see a smile on your face. But yet, you escape that life. So now the question is, when your life become painful for you to escape, what happened and why?
I was not allowed to study. I study, okay? Why did I study? Why did I love the school?
Boys.
Because school was a door or a window opening to the other outside of world.
Yeah.
The school was escape, something different. Because, in a house, you can't get out of the house. You can't go anywhere alone. But the school, I go to school alone. I hang out with my friends without the family. That was my escape at that time. So I love the middle school. I love the high school. I love any kind of education. And then when it comes to uni, I won through those exams. I want to be a biologist. And unfortunately, in my family, they respect doctors, lawyers, bravo, architect, engineer.
Of course.
And these are four professions they respect. The rest is nothing.
It doesn't make the money.
And he didn't want to send me to uni. And I said to him, Dad, you know what? I can keep my first year, all my subjects high, and I can go and become a doctor from biology. I can go across.
No.
He said to me, no, I don't want you to, you don't need to get further education because if you do, you will not listen to your husband. Okay, look, there is a in between line, can you read it? He's saying, if you get your financial independence, no one can hold you. Because actually, he was very smart, futuristic guy. He knows all his kids and he can say, oh, this girl, if she is doing all this without any qualification, what can she do if she become independent financially? So he could see that. And he was right.
I'm familiar with what you're talking about. Even I didn't grow up in an environment like you, but it was a very familiar. I was born in cities, but the villages was still having those, old type of fashion marriage setups and everything else. Even my father used to be saying to me, you need to marry the woman. You need to have the wife. We need to find your wife, We need to find your wife who has the land, goats, cows, pigs, and I'm like, come on, man! I don't want to live on village, man. You know what I mean? Like, but so that was his old school because my father was born 1936. I was born 1972. There was a big difference between me in my age and him. And But so he was living in these 50s and 60s when, still people think, married rich, you know what I mean? You can be poor but marry a rich woman.
Yeah.
So what's happened to you?
So he didn't send me to uni.
Are you upset?
And I couldn't go. That was the moment I realized. I couldn't realize that overnight. And I was crying, walked over an hour with my friends, crying and walking and talking and, well, what can I do? And my friend actually helped me to wake up to this. Because my sister, okay, she didn't get any education, but she could go to flower in TAFE, make a flowers. She could go and do some other things next year. She could do, he allowed her to do all that. And then she said, why don't you go and study fashion design, interior design, and pattern making, pretend like it's a girly stuff, it's making fashion, and that's not, it's girly, no. They won't pick it's are getting profession. But at the end of the 8 months, you get your diploma and off you go. You can work and make money. So I took her advice and I went to my dad and I said to him, okay, I want to go to a college to study fashion design, pattern making, blah, blah, blah. But I don't want to go to TAFE. You have to send me the most expensive or the most privileged, whatever, college in most expensive street.
You are good.
And he said, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can afford.
See, I'm still,
Couldn't pick what's going on.
I try to understand, okay, where's this story kicking off, because I know why we are here today. But it looks like everything you dream, you're getting from your father. Okay, so you got the most expensive university.
But life is up and down. It's like a share market. Like, I do have little lowers, but when I look at the big graphic, if I've got one going high, I mean, yes, there's little downs, but I'm very persistent. I don't give up. So I wanted to study. I did study. I put all my heart to study because I know the education would get me through. And I paid special attention to my English, okay? Nobody told me, hey, I'll buy you a push bike or I'll buy you a golden bracelet if you get good, in your school. No, I forced myself to get a good degree because I know that was my freedom.
Yeah.
And when it comes to uni, okay, he didn't send me, but I did study this. First 3 months, there was no problem. He was paying both of them, the fashion design and pattern making, because it's two separate. And then suddenly, he stopped giving me money. I just was thinking, because I know my intention, and I'm scared. I'm thinking, did he pick on it? Does he know I'm going to work at the end of this? Is that why he's not giving me money? So I wasn't there to go and ask him money. I was scared. I couldn't admit my intention. So what I did instead, I found a job, door-to-door knocking. So I sold these pots and plants, all the electronic kitchen stuff. And sometimes people slam the door on my face. Sometimes people swear at me, knocking the door and disturbing them. But then one person bought something. And then maybe from out of 5 or 10, another person bought something. So I made money enough to pay for my fashion design education.
Yeah.
But I moved the pattern making into a college like a TAFE. That's paid by government, so it didn't cost me anything. So 50-50, I managed to pay.
Yeah.
But then as soon as my dad found out, I was door knocking and selling. How dare you? My daughter could do that. That big shame. And he locked me in my bedroom. So I wasn't allowed to get out of my bedroom, and I was so angry. I'm thinking, I'm not a dog. How dare you? You can lock me in, blah, blah, blah. But nothing I could do. But as soon as I get out, I find another job.
So you're very resourceful, but very, very rebellious, actually.
Very rebellious.
Okay.
And then I find another job, and then this time I'm doing insurance, life insurance. And I insured all my family, extended family. Like, I got a golden, that month I was the winner in between all my colleagues.
Yeah.
Imagine I'm like 18, years old
Yeah.
when I'm doing that, not even 20.
Your father must be go crazy when he learns all these things.
And he did find out I was working in. So this time he locked me in 3 days. And then as soon as I got out, I found another job. This time he locked me 5 days. But eventually I finished. I finished the college. I finished the TAFE. And I got my certificate. And I said to him, look, I find a job, company, walking distance to my home. Hey, Dad, look, it's very close. You can come and check on me. So I convinced him to allow me to work. And then from that company, I changed the job, go a bit further out and a bit further out. And actually, you know what? I didn't realize then what I was doing, but it was like putting the frog in a cold water.
Okay.
You know, I got the job closer. That didn't mind. But then I moved out slowly.
Okay.
And so everything was working for me. That was awesome. And I even earned respect. They start thinking I could hear my brother because, I forgot to give you a little detail. You know, when I got the biology,
Yeah.
because I couldn't go there, but I was allowed to, because it is 2-step. So second, I couldn't go to biology, but the first step also allowed me to study open university, marketing and business.
Okay.
So I did enroll to that. As I was, doing fashion design, I was also going to uni, going through the exam, telling my mom, hey, I'm going to catch up with friends, but I was going to the exam to pass the subject, pass the school. So till year 3 or 2 in uni, they did not know I was in uni studying.
So let me understand this. You got everything from your dad. So obviously he loves you.
He does.
Okay. But he didn't know half of the things you're doing.
Well, I had to hide. Like, unfortunately, when there's a pressure in a society, that's another good learning for me, and I think for everybody else. You must keep your relationship open and a best communication with your kids. If you force your kids to lie to you, your kids will go and communicate somebody else. And that somebody else could be drug-selling person, could be somebody could harm them.
So what's happened then?
Okay, so I finished. I was working half school. But then, in my heart, I missed, because I was, open uni is the uni, but it's not a real uni. I want to go to university. I want to hold book. I want to sit in that seat with my classmate. I had that burning desire to go to a real uni.
To belong to something, yes.
And then...
Real. Yeah.
Yes, something real. I went to exam again, hidden from the family. They didn't know. And this time...
So nobody didn't know that you're doing all these things?
Not from the family.
Okay.
My friends did.
Okay.
My cousin, who's like a friend to me, she did. But only my age, not anybody older than me. Not my sister, not my mother. No, nobody knew that.
So you done exam and?
Till I have to tell them. So textile, I got the textile technology. Again, not textile engineering, it's technology. It's for 2 years uni only, not 4 years. Again, obstacle, they will say, that's not good enough. Well, what I did, I lied to them. I said, I win textile technology in Uludağ University. And I said to my mom, this is very clear picture, I cornered her in the kitchen. I said, Mom, go and tell Dad I've got the money. Remember, I've been working and I've been saving money all this time. 16 years old, you finish the high school, and the kids goes to uni 17, but I was working 17, 18, 19, 20. I was saving money. When my same age girls buying nail polish or Levi's jean, I was saving money.
Okay, so you corner your mom.
I tell my mom and said, I've got the money this time, because first time I didn't go to uni. Money buys you freedom. The going to uni book was money, accommodation was money,
Everything was money.
Everything was money. So I tell him, look, I've got the money this time. I'm going, but I want to get your blessing. Please don't say no, because I'll go regardless.
And mom?
But then I know if I go without your blessing, I have no place to come back.
Okay.
That's
You want
how
to go in peace. And what happened then?
So they had no choice but accept. So I went to uni.
How far away is university from your home?
It was in another city.
Okay.
That was another big deal. Imagine, sister couldn't go A to B 15 minutes distance. I'm going to another city for university.
Your sister, she's not happy for sure.
I don't know. We should ask her. But this time, my dad gave my mother and my brother, the crazy brother in the book. You will find out about him. They took me to uni, put me in a boarding school or no. When you go to uni, they provide you accommodation. What do you call that?
Dormitory,
Bravo.
Yeah.
They put me there, but then I hated that because girl has to go inside to their room. You can't even hang around the garden. Boy has to stay till 11 p.m. I hated it. I said, no, I'm not going to stay here.
You just don't love the rules, do you?
No.
Rules are not for you.
No. Rule meant to be broken. If we would be living with the rules for 100 years ago, women could not vote.
Well, it's easy to say to break the rules. Most of people want to break the rules, but they have no courage to break the rules. How did you break the rules? What happened that...
Well, I guess I'm being courageous, and I don't know. It's just my personality. Yeah, I am the black sheep. I'm the rebellious. I just could not live any other way. I guess I could marry the guy my dad picked for me, could be probably well off, blah, blah, blah. But inside, I would be dead. I choose not to be dead inside, but maybe I choose struggle.
Do you believe that people choose... okay, I'm going to draw this conversation now based on one book I read in 2009. GFC, GFC, Global Financial Crisis. When hit hard my family. We lost the home. Marriage was going down. My son became sick. So I need to turn to something. So I find a book called You Can Do It. Aussie writer, Paul Hanna. I never met a guy. And he said that most of people, and the truth it is that we living their life on autopilot. And, autopilot, because if pilot needs to hold the sticks, the plane's going to be tired, who knows what's going to happen, right? But autopilot does everything. Yeah, it's a little bit bumpy, but from point A to point B arrives safe. That's what the people choose in life. Yeah, it's a little bit turbulent. So when I ask some people I know, why don't you divorce your wife if you don't love her? We have kids, the marriage, the mortgage. When I ask somebody, why don't you change your job? It's okay. I know it's a struggle, but I'm not happy, but it paid me well. But yet you didn't conform.
Never.
Don't shake head on me like you little rebel. Okay, I just want to know what's happened now.
Actually, you know what? My philosophy, another motto, love it or leave it.
Love it or leave it.
If I love the job, I do it. I stay in the job. If I don't love it, I leave it.
So where is the
if
love
I
for you?
love the partner or husband, I love the person, I stay with them. If I don't love them, I leave it. I don't stay. I don't choose convenience. No matter how much struggle I could go through, it could be comfortable. It would be more, financially, it would be more comfortable to stay in Turkey.
So did you met a man of your dreams to university? And that's where it starts?
Yet
everything?
to come.
Okay. So what happened? You were studying and...
Okay, I'll go back to study? Or
you can start wherever you want. It's interesting.
Or I go back to man. We go to the man. We're studying, so that's the rebellious. Okay.
So
and other things. Okay, let's talk about the man and our sensuality, sexuality. So you are supposed to be a virgin in Turkey till you get married.
Yeah. See, most people don't understand this. Most people don't understand that these cultures, like your one, like a Turkey, like being Muslim, there's some expectations in society. Some things never died. You okay?
Yeah. No, I'm perfectly fine. But that's the reality.
Yeah.
You're right. There is lots of people can't get their head around. But that's a 90% of the society expect that from you. And I think that was unfair. I'm thinking, why, if a man can have sex, why can I not have sex?
So you say like, I'm gonna do sex.
That's it.
My name is Angelina. I'm not gonna have a sex.
But I have to say, look, I haven't had sex till age 22.
My God,
Still, like, not
I was thinking I was late, but 19 I was also
No.
jaded.
I was 22 years old,
okay.
first time when I decided to have sex. And that's what I thought, it's my body, my choice. And there was a guy I liked. He was a dentist, he dressed well, he speaks well, he's good looking. And I had sex with him first time, even though I didn't get married, okay? But because he knows the society and family expectation, I think he panicked. And unfortunately, he did manipulate me in the beginning. Oh, you can't give me what I want. You can't do what I need, blah, blah. And I said, no, I can. And then as soon as we had sex, and naturally, when I went to toilet, I got burned. And I said, hey, I feel pain, because he's a doctor. I thought he could help me. And he was so cold. I'm guessing he freaked out. Oh, fuck, she's really virgin. What am I supposed to do now? And I've got 5 brothers, remember? In Turkey, they can go and bash him and say, you have to marry our sister now. So I think he's scared. And he said, of course it will burn. There's a cut there right now. And when the acid get passed through and it will burn, blah, blah, blah. He was so cold and heartless. And that turned me off. I'm thinking, hey, all I wanted you to just cuddle me, maybe caress my hair and say, darling, it's okay, it will go away, something like that. But because he didn't do that, I said, F it. I'm not going to be with you. I'm not going to chase you just because you took my virginity. And my best friend, she freaked out. Oh my God, what are you going to do? Nobody will marry you now. I said, you know what? I am not going to marry someone who pays attention in between my leg and my virginity and doesn't care about my heart and my mind. That's not the kind of man I want anyway. So she was panicking more than me instead of comforting me.
That was a moment when things started going wrong for you, bad for you?
No, I just didn't call this dentist anymore. I didn't call him. I was hoping he would call me, but he didn't call me either. And that was end of it. First time when I had sex, ending was disappointing. And then when I went to uni, I met someone. You remember, I convinced my family to go to uni. There was more freedom.
Yeah.
And I even find a home. I rent a home. I paid the bond and everything because I've got the money.
Yeah.
Okay. And then every weekend when I go back to home, because, it was another city, I was stealing the towels and the sheets and the stuff I needed at home. And eventually...
You're a very resourceful woman now. I admire that. Yeah?
Thank you. And eventually, I create my own home. I bought this apartment unit, 2-bedroom apartment. Not bought, sorry, I rented. It was, even though it was a ground floor, but because Bursa is a beautiful city, you must go and visit if you ever go to Turkey. It was
No,
hill.
to meet your family after this video. No, thank you.
So because it was on ground floor, but the hill was going like this, the whole city was under my feet.
Okay.
But the property was a bit run down. I painted, I put the curtain, I dressed it up, make it home to myself. And then I find a roommate or flatmate to share the property.
Was him or her?
Her, of course. No sharing with boys.
No boys, no.
Just the girls only.
Is that the moment where you fall in love?
That was the moment. I unfortunately, in uni, because, everybody goes, my classmates were around in their 16, 17, 18 years old. I was 23 years old because I had to work to save money. Even though my family was well off, I paid for my own education because if I wouldn't have that money, I couldn't go to uni.
Money is not equal freedom, but it buys things, you said.
It does.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
So how this was working
And
for you?
then when I was in uni, this guy I met in a party, he was the brother of my roommates. So that's how we met. And I fell in love with him. I had a relationship with him. And he was, working, independent, a little bit older than me. And I fell pregnant in uni. Do you remember? I was focused to go to uni, finish the uni. However, I don't know that mom, I think, what do you call it? What's the right word? I was willing to have that baby. But shamefully, we broke up with him. And I rang him and I said, hey, my girlfriend broke up with the boyfriend, but she just realized after they broke up, she was pregnant. Do you think she should tell him? And he said to me, of course you should tell me. Like, he picked straight away. It was him. But unfortunately, he sat down with me and spent lots of hours to convince me to have abortion because I wanted to have the baby. He says, look, you are in the first year. That will destroy your education and you have to stay at home, blah, blah, blah. It's best, we have abortion, then you can continue your uni, then you can do it, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know why. I really wanted to have that baby. It was really...
It's a mother instinct.
Bravo. That's the right word. I was looking. Mother instinct. I wanted to have that
baby. You want
baby.
to protect that already.
That's right. That's right. Anyway, he convinced me eventually that was the right thing to do. I did have abortion. But that was the time I decided I'm not going to stay in Turkey. I'm going to England to get an English further education, and then I'll be more freer. So, and I did, because before I finished the school, I went to England. I lived there for a while, but that was the very first time I left my hometown. Like, I was like a fish out of the water.
Yeah.
And plus, unfortunately, I have to admit, English people aren't very friendly.
No, they're not.
And they are a bit ignorant. I mean, the woman looking at me, I was there as an au pair, looking after 3 kids. Again, I organized everything myself. I organized my school, I organized the family, I organized everything. I bought my flight ticket, and then I tell my dad, it's just like the uni, Ma, I'm going to England. Just give me your blessing. So, but surprisingly, that man always wanted to stop me. This time he said to me, okay, go, and remember, I'll always be there for you. And feeling that support from my dad, like acceptance, he accept me, he accept my dreams, and he support me, and he tells me, I'll be there for you. I'm always behind you. He didn't try to stop me when I was going to England, because I guess he could see, hey, she hasn't done anything wrong. She finished 2 university, like not just one. She's in 2 university, she's working, she's educating herself and moving forward. And then he supported me. He said, I am behind you. Remember, I'm always here for you. That man always wanted to stop me.
You okay?
Yeah, that was a big shift for me. I think my relationship with my dad. So when I went to England, I missed him. I missed my home. And I came back earlier than I should, because my visa was for a year, but I came back within 3 months, because what happened, the boy, he was just a year old. He opened his nappy, play with his poo, and then he walked up the stairs, and then
Whose boy?
the three kids I was looking
Oh, yeah,
after.
yeah, yeah.
Two girl, they were 6 and 4, and the boy was only 2 years old.
God, yeah.
And then that was so upsetting because my life was comfortable. I'm thinking I'm not going to clean shit here.
Yeah.
And interestingly, my dad called, like just a coincidence, perfect coincidence. And then the lady said to me, "Your dad is on the phone." I'm thinking, how my dad explain himself to English-speaking person to ask me? And then I came and picked up the phone and I said, "Dad, how did you tell her you want to speak to me?"
Yeah.
And he said, "I just repeat your name." She understood.
Yeah. That's clever. He's clever. Okay.
Yeah. And then, I was on tears, crying. And then I told him what has happened. And he said, "Don't worry, don't bother. You don't have to stay with the family. You don't have to clean poo. Get out of it." And then I got out, move somewhere independent. As soon as that term is finished, I went back to Turkey because love is the strongest thing, invitation.
Okay.
I was receiving love from my dad. I was receiving support. I was receiving acceptance and understanding.
Yes.
So I went back to Turkey. But when I went back there, I met this person. He is also in the book, the character, and
So he's a character.
there is a character here in the book, Ergun Onur. His name is Onur.
That's not real name, right?
No,
course.
it's not his real name.
Anyway, yeah.
And I met him. He is probably, what's the right word? He's very entertaining. Like he could have,
Okay, yeah.
what's the personality type?
He will bring the gravity with him in the room. People love him.
He's not necessarily very best looking, but he's charming. Okay, he could make any woman or anybody feels good if he wants to, if he chooses to. He's a good talker, and I fall for him. I thought because I didn't want to be with a man in my family like my father or my brother because, okay, my dad looked after my mother financially. They never ever got divorced like Catholics. However, he always had other women in his life,
Yeah. Did your mom knew it?
and it was destroying a woman's soul, like being cheated on, but she never leaves home. And I told her how many times, "Mom, I'll look after you. Let's leave that. You don't have to put up with this." But she said no. No, that was her choice because she thinks she protected her wealth and her kids. Because she said, if I get divorced, the other woman will get everything. And I won't let them.
So you met this man?
I met this man, and because he's different. He's been married and divorced three times. 3 times married and divorced, and once long relationship. And I said, "Oh my God, I never been married. Probably my family wouldn't like that. That would be an obstacle." So I called my sister-in-law and I said to her, "Look, this is the reality, but I love him. However, even though he takes me off my feet, there is something about him I'm not 100% sure. Can we go out and have a dinner, you, me, and my brother, like 4 of us, and maybe you can show me what's something
missing?
not right."
Yeah. So your intuition was saying something is wrong, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Even though, he's very entertaining, very colorful, very interesting personality, definitely not boring, and very romantic. Very romantic, like any girl would get affected by that. He would pick up a heart-shaped box and pick the leaves from the street and glue it outside, put a velvet something inside and give you as a gift, not necessarily just buy from the shop. or he will buy
That's
you
all, yeah.
lots of heart-shaped balloon and pick you up middle of the street and you scream, "I love you," and this and that. Like, it was extremely romantic.
Okay.
But
But,
there's a but.
so step after dinner.
And anyway, I asked my sister-in-law, because I'm trying to, like, using her like a suspension. I know I can't talk to my brother directly because he could be crazy, but I thought he is the best one, because you know what? He is the most educated one. He went to Europe. He went to Germany. He got an education. And the other two oldest brother didn't have an education, and younger brother is too young. This is the perfect. I thought he could understand me. So instead of going to dinner, he asked me, where does he work, what is his name, blah, blah, blah. And I gave him all the information he asked for. And apparently this is Turkish version, I don't know if it exists in your country. My brother doesn't talk to him, but he talks to everybody else, but him ask about him. From the receptionist, from his boss, from the security guy, from everybody. What do you think about this guy? Yeah, is he a good, reliable person? Blah, blah, blah. And unfortunately, he didn't hear good stuff, I think, about him. And because I think Onur was charming to me, he was charming all the girls. He was charming to the receptionist. He was charming to the sales rep. He was charming to the... He dated with all of them, and he maybe broke all of their heart. Yeah, so nobody said any good thing about him. And my brother, I'm coming from work. I'm trying to open the door to get in. Now I'm on a place, they accept me working wherever I want, however I want. Like, I earn that respect, which is demolished in overnight. I am trying to open the door, and my brothers opened the door. He grabbed me by my hair, and I've got a big, boofy, curly hair. Like, it's so easy to catch. He threw me on the floor, and he's kicking me. All he says, you can't marry him. You can't marry him. You can't marry him. You can't marry him. And I said, I'll marry him, because we had sex. So that was kind of stop him. Because, if you have sex.
Okay, yeah.
That is sad, though. Even if you get raped, they force you to marry your raper.
Yeah, that's the.
So I thought if I say that, he will stop kicking me. I won't get bashed. And then he stopped. But what he did, he went to his workplace this time with two other men, and I don't know if he had gun or not, but it was a bit scary looking for Onur. However, all he had to say, brother, we are sorry, but we love each other. Because we were going to get married, yes, we have been together intimately, but we just want your blessing. If you accept that, we want to get married. So if he says that, my brother would drop off his gun and everything else, yeah? That's all he needs to hear. But what he did instead, oh, no, it wasn't me, had sex with your sister. And actually your sister, he put me, to save his ass, he actually made me really worse than what it is. He said, oh, your sister had abortion 110 times and she's had sex with the whole army.
So he portrayed as a slut. That's what he did, yeah.
Yeah. But I am willing
So he knew for abortion as well?
Yeah. I am willing to marry her. So, like, your sister is this.
She's bad, but I'm willing to marry her.
But I'll marry her.
To your brother?
To my brother.
My God, okay, I can feel it. It's heating up. Okay, it's cooking now.
And then brother came home. Mm-hmm. They met. Mother sitting head of the table, and two brothers sitting here. And this crazy one says, "Let's shoot her. Shoot her with gun, because that wasn't the only guy I had sex. There's more than one." Just because I had sex before I get married. So I deserve to be killed.
Where is your father in that moment?
He was in the farm. We had a farm a few hours outside of city.
So he didn't know this.
He didn't know all this. And then the other brother says, I don't want to go to jail. Like, he doesn't say, hey, are you crazy? We are talking about our sister,
So you're sitting with them at the table?
Pardon?
You're sitting with them at the table?
No. I'm in my bedroom. They are talking in the living room, and there is a hallway.
My God.
I'm in the other room, but I can hear what they are talking about.
Okay.
And then the crazy one said, let's cut her throat. He's so passionate. Because it's just a big loss of faith, like I deserve to be killed. Like, in his head, he has got every right to kill me, okay? And then the other one says, I can't even cut a chicken. Like, if he could manage to cut chicken's head, he will come and cut my head. That's what they are talking about. And then the crazy one says, let's strangle her.
Crazy brother.
No noise, no gun noise, no knife blood. Just strangle her, take her breath away. And then we throw her in a jungle and then ring the police and say, our sissy got missing. There is lots of women family murder in Turkey and all around the world. Actually, it is one woman gets murdered by their own family in Turkey and every 10 minutes in the world. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know this. No. So you listen conversation how they're plotting to kill you. Because a man you love, but that man who you love actually is another prick, literally, like a first one.
Narcissist. That was the word. Narcissistic person.
Yeah, that's true.
He was a narcissistic person.
Did you remember on our conversation when we start talking, and I said, like, what admiring about you, it's a courage. This podcast is a people who show the courage, not a theory, but in practice. I give a quick story. My father, who was most sadistic person, he never told me love me. He was always breaking the chairs on me and the furniture, just because he can, right? He was a midget. My father was not literally midget, but he was a smaller man and everything else, and I was afraid of him. But the moment when the war broke out in Yugoslavia, and I remember this as of today, 14th of July 1991, my mom, my dad, and my brother, they left me. They dumped me. My father, who was an alpha male. And I never, not just forgave him, but in my eyes, I said to myself, you're like a monster of the man. On paper, big and tough and rough, but when a problem hits the door, you will run away for your life. So you will adopt this type of man as well. And I admire that you are sitting here opposite me talking to this. So how serious become that plotting of assassination of yours?
Well, it couldn't take practice because I escaped. That was the moment I escaped.
So did you really think that's going to happen?
Yeah.
Okay. What makes you think that's going to happen?
As I said, every day one woman gets murdered by their own brother, mother, or father, or husband.
Okay, let me step back. Did you hear your mother talks?
Oh, yes. That's a sad part. Because, the brother says...
Did she defended you?
She said, no, you are not killing her. I'll kill her. Because she doesn't want her boys to go to jail, just in case.
So your own mother...
My own mother.
With her sons...
Yes.
Confirming that she's happy to take your life so sons doesn't go into prison.
That's right.
I can't. So how did you...
Well, unfortunately, it comes from ignorance and uneducation. In her head, that's what pissing me off. Mom, you give birth to these boys. They come through you, from you. But in her head, they are better than her just because they have got some organs she doesn't have. She thinks she's less than them. and I am less than them just because we
That's
are
wrong.
not
That's
a
wrong.
man.
That's
That is our culture.
That's wrong. And my mom, I always talk about my mom because my mom, she was that type of person. She never loved me. She never showed. She was a different person. But I'm seeing with the mother of my child how much she loves the boy, and I'm feeling sorry for every girl in his life. You know what I mean? She's tolerating, but I can understand. But in your case, we're talking about her own child taking life. I mean, no.
But that's the pressure of the society. She feels she has to do it. I believe, I mean, you might think I'm crazy, but deep down she didn't want to do it, but she had no choice in her head.
So defending her now.
Not defending, trying to understand her reason. Not defending, because it is important to make peace with our trauma or past. It is important to forgive, because forgiveness is not necessarily accepting what they have done is right. It is just accepting the let go of the bitterness, because that bitterness will chew us and destroy us if we keep holding on to it. So
Absolutely.
I choose to forgive.
But first you need to escape.
I had to escape to
So
survive.
how did you escape? Same moment,
Well,
or did you wait a
I
night?
just
Or?
grabbed a jumper and my wallet, because there was my photo ID and my money and credit cards in the wallet, and that's it. And I just ran off when they were busy talking. But I remember I went to my friend's place and my leg was shaking because I ran so fast, because I know as soon as I slammed the door, they knew I escaped. And as soon as I escaped, they will be coming behind me. And they did come behind me. And I had to hide behind the walls for them to go.
Yeah. So you go to your friend, and then what's the next step? How did you come in Australia?
How did I come to Australia? Oh, that's a good question. I love that one.
Okay. Did you come on a... Did you hide yourself on a ship or something?
Actually, I came to Australia many, many years later.
Mm-hmm.
But that was another escape. I am very good at escaping. Okay, there is...
The story, we'll all laugh now.
Look, sometimes that's my learning. That's my positive learning. When you cannot change something, when you cannot change the society, when you cannot change the family, when you cannot change the... imagine I am running against the river and they are all coming towards me. Like, to people here, it is weird, but to them, it is normal.
It's
90%
normal, yeah.
of society think the opposite. I was probably ahead of my society. Maybe I was thinking with more Western mind. I don't know how did I learn that. Maybe the woman's magazine, I think, taught me the way. But sometimes to survive, you need to escape.
So
If you can't change it, you can change the environment. You just change your environment to create a new community, new living space. So you don't have to stay in dysfunctional family. You don't have to stay in not working marriage. You don't have to stay in a bad job doesn't fulfill you and satisfy you. You can leave.
I mean, your life sounds like a what's it calling, Hurem, you know what I mean, the drama, you know what I mean. My mom, she was watching this, you know what I mean, like 7 million episodes, right? Like, it's a Turkish soap opera, drama.
Magnificent Century.
Oh my God, like, they're all married solo, whatever they call them, like, I couldn't believe, you know what I mean, they can sit, all afternoon and watch that show. But the thing is, we can laugh now, but it wasn't funny for you then. How did you put your life together?
But that made me strong. I guess, actually, you know what? I can see there's lots of kids in Australia. They cannot survive because everything provided for them.
Because I don't need to do this. Yeah.
If they see anything difficult, they will be the weakest link to die. So having the tough things, it's like having a germ in your body and you have got resilient. Then if there's any germ comes, you survive. I think it is a bit like that. Like, I can survive anywhere in the world. I prove that to myself and to everybody else.
I have a practical question. Let's go talk about love now. Let's go talk about dating and love. Any woman listening right now, I don't say that only women being treated disrespectfully on a negative way, broken hearts, whatever you want to call. Men can be as well, like I'm the man. I've been broken hearted so many times. But the question I have for you, any woman listening right now, before she's going to date anybody, what your experience says to you, what advice would you give to any woman, what she needs to do before she commit herself into that relationship? Based on what you've gone through. Okay, it's a difficult question.
That's a tough question. Okay, with me, I think...
Okay, let me ask you this way.
Okay.
Have you felt betrayed by the man in your life?
Well, my Turkish man, that was the biggest betray.
Yeah.
He betrayed me. I trusted him. I was honest with him. I was open with him because I'm thinking future with him. I thought I shared everything openly. Okay, number one, you don't have to share everything with your future partner. They don't need to know everything.
That's a good one. Okay, a good start.
Okay, number one, they only need to. It's when it time comes, then you open up to them, you talk to them. But number two, I think it's important to us to tap into our femininity.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I lost that because I had to fight all my life. I built that masculine energy, and when I meet a masculine man, we clash. Because we need polarity in a relationship. It has to
correct,
be
yes.
minus and plus, the pull. If it is 2 plus, it pushes. If it is 2 minus, it pushes. Even in a no gender relationship, lesbians, gays, there is one takes the feminine role, the other one takes the masculine role.
Yeah.
So I am learning to be feminine again. I'm learning to be vulnerable again. Because, I used to pretend I'm strong, I'm tired. But then I got tired. I'm sick and tired of being strong. Now I want a shoulder I can rely on and I can cry on or I can sleep on. I can let go of that strong me. I want to be a man. I don't have to be strong. He can look after me. I will feel safe with him.
I said this morning to my son, for some things, I'm grateful for my father. He was rough with me. One of those things, he always told me, you need to protect your family. You need to look after your family. You need to be the guy who is there for your family. And he was. I can't say he wasn't. I mean, I was living in poverty, but that was a lifestyle. And I mean, then in 70s and 80s, that was a part of lifestyle. But the thing is, society today, they try to teach the man to become the man, which is very sad, right? For me, when I see you're born with the genes and this is your job, this is your nature. But something's shifted in society. Women and men, women become more like masculine and, I can do this, I can do that. I see in the gym every day, so I try not even say hello because, you never know how it's going to end. I mean, it's going to sue you because you say hello. It's just thank you, but goodbye. No, honestly. And but I can get away because I always say oh, no habla English, so people say he doesn't know English. But you fought the battles. Most of men will give up. Why you never give up on your freedom? Why you never gave up on your freedom?
I couldn't live any other way. As I said, it would be... Okay, I think Anthony Robbins says that being alive doesn't mean how many breaths you take. It means how many moments you experience. It takes your breath away.
Okay, can I just add something on this?
Yes.
The human being inhale or exhale between 20 to 22,000 times per day. And every breath you take in can be your last. Do you agree with me?
That's right.
I love to hear you. Tony Robbins talks a lot, but you are the one who are really enjoying talking to you.
Well, I must admit, I did have lots of beautiful moments that takes my breath away. In that case, I
Okay.
am happy when I look back. I thought, oh, I have been to lots of different country. I have seen lots of different culture. It's beautiful. But I think I like to feel belong now. One stage I was kind of let flower float on the top of the water. It is so beautiful and gorgeous, but it doesn't have a root. Now I want to have a root. Just stay in one place.
It's interesting what you said. It's just like we all want to belong to something or somebody. And I think that's a root problem for many relationships. Just to illustrate something. So recently I need to do surgery. Well, it was September. So because I was wounded in a war, I have a shrapnels inside of me. So from time to time I need to take them out because they're infected after 30 years and list goes on. After surgery, you have that recovery. And I saw the same people in recovery when I met them when I was going into the surgery. So they're supposed to be left by that time. When I asked the nurse, and I asked him, I said, why is these people still in the room? He says, we cannot reach their loved ones because someone needs to come pick you up. They can't just send you out. I said, I don't understand. He said, we can't reach the husbands or wives or boyfriends or girlfriends of these people, right?
They don't come and pick them up.
No, because it's Friday afternoon. They're already drinking and partying. I said, that's sad.
That is sad.
That's sad.
Very.
And that shows that it breaks my heart. So I spoke to this lady next to me. She's a barista. And she says to me, my husband, I don't know whether, where he is. He's supposed to be all the time here. I'm like, I'm sorry, I need to go because my boy is there. It's like, he was all the time. You don't need to have 50 people, just one person, because I belong to somebody. Makes sense?
Right. The connection, that intimacy.
Yeah.
It is very important. But I think I've got that connection with my baby.
Yeah, so we're going to introduce him later. So resilience. Let's talk. When the women sees you today, you are strong, you're brave. What is resilience for you?
When the woman sees me, what do you mean?
They see you as strong, unbreakable, very courageous woman.
And what do they think or what do they feel? Is that what you mean?
What do you want to explain to them? What took you to become this what you are? Escape from Turkey, escape to Sydney, family. Do you believe that we need to go to the bad things in life to become resilient?
Well, unfortunately, yes. When the black
sheep
mine under the ground, it gets lots of pressure to become a diamond. So without the pressure, it doesn't turn into a diamond.
So why did you write the book, The Escape?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Let's go talk about Escape. Why did you write the book Escape?
Okay, what happened? I went breakdown and breakthroughs around 2010. I lost a baby. That was maybe my last chance in my 40s, That was kind of destroy me. That was the time I felt I lost all my motivation to work,
to exist,
to do anything. I even lost my motivation to be alive. I just wanted to be dead. However, I discovered lots of help and support available in Australia. And that was the time I realized I am blessed. Like in this country, even if you don't have no one, Australian government really looks after you. And that was the time they protect me from me. that I was in woman refuge. I was homeless. That was a really tough time. However, mental wellness is really important. I couldn't think. My friends reminded me, didn't you have money in the bank? Why didn't you just go in a 5-star hotel and look after you and during the pregnancy? And no, well, the head was in Turkey. Even though physically I was here, but mentally, emotionally, I was thinking with the Turkish head and the struggle there.
I'm sorry, my Turkish head.
But yeah, you can laugh. It's okay. But then I discovered how much help and support was available in Australia. And then I got lots of help and therapy, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of when I come out of it, my therapist said to me, Angelina, you're not the first, you're not the last. There's lots of women out there need to hear your story. And your story may be the key to someone else's prison. They may unlock their own prison. They can get inspired by your own story.
You said so well, yeah.
Because during that breakdown, actually that was the best thing probably happened to me. Because when I come to Australia in 1998 with one-way ticket, no return, no luggage, no baggage, not knowing one single person, just one way. Can you believe
You're
that?
amazing. No, I can't. No, I believe you because you're here, but that's the courage. See, that's what the most of men don't have. See, the most of the men don't have that courage. And I'm telling this from the point of view, I've been in a couple of wars, I saw the man, and I was trying to understand those alpha males, those mommy's boys, who are the first one who's going to run away, hide, because they're afraid. And then they're never going to leave the security of the home, of the family. Doesn't matter what situation is.
Well, I chose freedom.
Yeah, but that's a freedom, what you say. That's a freedom, yeah?
I think my top priority is the freedom, not necessarily be comfortable physically or financially or whatever, but to feel free.
See, the women listen to you now. Do you understand, Angelina? This is a real heroine. This thing, what you gone through, this is the life. This is not Netflix show. Oh, my life was this. Oh, my mom didn't love me. Oh, I didn't have the money. When I listen to all these BS artists, who are living in US and somewhere there, like, oh, I was living in communism. It was bad. I was like, well, if it was so bad, you will not be in America in the first place. So don't lie to me, because I used to believe I didn't know nothing better. So, by your story, escape, betrayal. I have a few more questions very quickly, but are you in touch with your family now?
Yes.
Crazy brother?
Including crazy brother.
He still want to kill you?
No more.
No more.
He tried in 2019, actually, but okay, it is important to know your rights in any country and stick with your rights. Unfortunately, society wants to put pressure on you, but if you know your legal right, just go for it. So in the past, okay, our rights wasn't exist in Turkey. Thank God it's getting in a better place now. But still, even some women in Australia, they might be coming from Middle East, they might be coming from whatever background, or Turkey, whatever. There's lots of rights in this country, but they just keep quiet.
Because that's how they're brought up in society.
That's right.
Before, yeah.
So I break my silence to stop the violence. That's why I'm speaking here, my truth. The things, as I said, I scoop under the carpet. When I came, as I said, in 1990, when I came, I was go-lucky girl, smiling everybody, extra happy, extra bubbly, blah, blah. But when I crashed on that baby, everything I scoop under the carpet slammed me on the face first. When I go through the therapy with the psychologist, when I tap into the back and what has happened to me in the past, and I start hating me and hating my dad and hating my brother, hating my family. First, you go through that. It is a bit like when you have got infection under the skin, you know, if you leave it there, it will never get dry. You have to cut it, let that shitty stuff come out and the blood come out, and then it heals. But if you don't let it out, it stays there forever and it affects you.
For those who are interested, I'm going to put in LinkedIn.
That's Turkish version.
I know. I'm going to put in a comment description section. You're confusing me now. Okay, guys, so you can see in the comment section is going to be the links on escape, anything possible, or on a Turkish way, heze mumkun kaçış.
Bravo.
Okay.
You said really well.
Yeah. So, like, guys, there's two versions for those who speak Turkish and those for the English. I'm going to put links below. Give the love and support to the Angelina. Read her book, Escape. Now, let me move to this.
Actually, I have to say, I give all the profit to support women in Turkey.
Why Turkey?
Because I'm from Turkey and there is struggle still going on there.
What your dad says about you? What your dad says?
My dad passed away.
I'm sorry, I didn't know. Okay.
Actually, that's another sad story. My dad passed away in the same year I came to this country.
I know what he told you.
1998. And my brother...
What year did you come to Australia?
My brother didn't even invite me to funeral, didn't even told me that.
You want to know something funny? I come 1998 here.
Really? We came in the same year.
18th November 98.
And why Australia? I'll tell you.
Tell me.
Because I've been to England. I don't like England. I don't like English people. I'm sorry. But when that woman told me, oh, do you dress like this in Turkey? Like, all I had like normal Adidas tracking pants and hoodie. She thinks everybody in hijab in Turkey. And that pissed me off, or I don't know, maybe that was my early years. It come across like that. So I didn't want to go to England. And plus the sky is always grey. You get
raining.
depressed there.
It is. You see, I've been in England many times and I don't like it.
I don't like England. And America was another option. But in America, as I mentioned before, every 10 minutes there is murder, every 15 minutes there is rape on the news all the time. So that wasn't a safe place for me. Australia was safe. Why? Because there was a female figure at the top, the Queen, Elizabeth. And also I thought, you know, even though there might be kangaroo, there might be a crocodile, there might be shark or killer spiders, but animal doesn't come and harm you with no reason.
Yeah, true.
It could be like a maybe not very developed or like a little village, but I will be safe there. I choose Australia because I thought that is the best place for female. I think I'm right for that.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I picked the best place.
So how the family is now with you? Like, what's the relationship with the family now?
Well, family, I think they admit or they don't admit, they have got a bit of admiration as a female, you know. Okay, example. My brother being called to Italy for a business reason because they are very good at what they are doing. Boiling maker. They can do those petrol tanks, you know, really well. They are really good at that. Anyway, he went to Italy and there was an announcement happening in the plane, and then they land and he got into the taxi and they are going and going and going and going. Almost the taxi going to be €500. He's still going. And then he called Turkey and asked, hey, what's going on? Why this taxi driver? And apparently they announced there was some weather condition. It couldn't land to Rome. It went to Milano. So they had to... So not speaking a language makes a huge difference. And I have been living outside of Turkey with a different religion, people, different nationality, different language, and I survive. I make a living. I stand on my own feet without one single tiny support from them. See, he struggled from go A to B. So there is an admiration, there is a respect under mine in deep down, but on the surface, I think there is a bit of jealousy, there is a bit of resentment, or how dare she is living just the way she wants, she doesn't live, we want her to live. They are still have got the shits with me. I forgive them, they are the one wanted to kill me. I forgive them, but they can't forgive me.
What's the forgiveness for you? Let's talk about forgiveness.
As I said, set myself free of the bitterness. So I don't have that bitter feeling towards them. That's why I explain, oh, my mom did that for this reason, my brother did that for that reason, because I can understand their point of view. That doesn't make them right, but I understand. And I accept and let go. It is difficult to communicate with them still. I talk to them, I message them, because we have to now fight for inheritance.
Okay.
We have to stay in communication. So they have no choice to communicate with me. So I'm the one leading, getting them together, because unfortunately they don't have a peace within themselves, not just me only. But I said, hey guys, I created a WhatsApp group. Can you believe that? I said, look, we don't have to love each other. We don't have to be lovey-dovey, but we have to respect, and no swearing talk. That crazy brothers was still swearing on his messages. No swearing talk, because this will be a legal evidence if needed. So that's why I said a few minutes ago, it is very important to know
You're right.
our regulates and talk accordingly. When they know you know what you're talking about, they respect you. They back off. I said, shit, we can't bully her anymore, so we better do the right thing.
Before we wind up, I want to talk about fear, right? You were fearing for your life. I mean, that's ultimate fear. I mean, so people are afraid of leaving. How would you explain somebody not to be afraid of the life, of events, of obstacles? How to deal with the fear?
Well, I think if we think, for me, my biggest fear was being dead. I was afraid to die. And thank God it's not fear anymore, because I can see it is continue of life. Okay, I don't know where I might be going, but there will be some other life. The soul, the spirit will continue. Okay, my body might be staying in this earth, but the soul will continue. It's not dying.
You're very positive now. You're very positive
there is nothing
woman.
to be afraid of.
You're very positive. Now let's go talk about love of your life. He's hiding on the table.
Yes!
You want to show him?
Ask him. You want to come here, Mama? Oh, come on, baby. Opa. Yes. Okay, this is the love of my life. Ashkum AyO.
Ashkum AyO.
or AyO. Which side we should show, Ashkum? What do you prefer?
You just wanna be
I
innocent.
have to say, he is a working dog.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think all this trauma, I love you, I went through,
Yeah.
it did leave some scars.
Of course,
One of them is anxiety I have got. And he helps me with my anxiety. He makes me feel good. He comforts me. And he feels good around me. I feel good around him. So that's why he gets to go everywhere I go. And as I said, love is everything. And I think love could solve everything and makes us feel good. I don't know, especially when it comes from these angels can't even speak and express their need. But it just feels, you just feel it. I don't know how to describe it.
Angelina, I just want to say thank you for being my guest today. Thank you for sharing your story. And I truly believe there's going to be a lot of women who's going to find themselves in this story. It's a 23rd December, so like it's a time for miracles. And we're going to deliver this miracle a little bit later after Christmas, but it's a Christmas story. And I couldn't ask for the better person than yourself to end this year on this interview. We can't fit all your life in a couple hours of conversation.
No.
Only you know.
No way.
There's a books, guys. You can, we're going to put a link down. You can contact Angelina. But that's a true story. That's a true, tangible story, which I truly admire, because it's like you've gone through something that most of people think it's not possible. So you turn it impossible into possible.
Anything is possible. That's even I've got a tattoo here. I don't know. I've got too many jewelry.
We can hear this one.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. Angelina, wishing you all the best over the Christmas and a happy new 2026 to you and your love of your life. He's very happy with you.
Thank you very much.
I truly believe that your story is going to help many people over there, not just
I hope so. Yeah. This is my legacy. This is my mission now. I want to touch people's heart as long as they send me a message to say, hey, Angelina, I have changed this in my life. I have done this in my life after I read your story. That is my biggest award. As I said, I do donate the money to help the other woman. I am not doing this for financial reason. I'm doing it for
charity,
legacy, leaving something behind after my passing, because everybody will go one day. At least there will be something behind from me.
Look, this is a good...
My past generation.
The story itself is a very compelling, your story, life story. Like, I interview a lot of people. I interview truly people who experienced, different obstacles and challenges in life. But I never met somebody who has been betrayed ultimately, not just by the man, by the family who want to take your life. So,
well, actually, I have to say that was the exact reason. In Turkey, I felt lonely. Even in the crowd, in a big family, I was surrounded physically, but I was lonely. I thought I can go to Australia and have my physical alone or whatever, instead of staying here. And I'm so glad I did. I think that was the biggest risk I took, coming here with one-way ticket, not knowing one single person. But it turned out to be the biggest award. Biggest risk, biggest award. You have to take risk. Don't stay and choose the comfort zone.
Angelina, thank you for being my guest. Guys, stay tuned. We're going to put more details of this conversation, interview with Angelina, where you can get her books, how you can contact Angelina. And I'm wishing you, truly, all of you truth seekers and risk takers, I'm wishing you all the best in 2026. And thank you for your massive support. Thank you again. Thank you, Angelina.